If I put my binders down on the radiator, then we'll know it's time to go.
When they burst into flames, the spermatozoids. So could we just get your reaction here? The Federation of Community Social Services and the Social Workers Association are both coming out today saying this proposed change to the Representative Act is going to limit her ability to do her job and is a way of government to curtail her ability to be independent. What do you respond to that?
I don't follow the logic. This is, as I said on Friday, not about having access. There's no question around that, but there is, we believe, a requirement to ensure that once access to cabinet-related materials has been secured, that there are safeguards and protocols in place to govern how that material becomes public. That's the issue here.
Now, you've said that the independent child and youth representative doesn't actually have access to cabinet documents because FIPA trumps her act, Section 12. I'm just wondering, though, I've read FIPA, and it looks like Section 12 only applies to those making applications under the FOI Act.
And your point?
Well, you argued last week that FIPA prevented government from releasing cabinet records to the representative. That doesn't appear to be the case.
Well, the Act is clear in protecting the concept of cabinet privilege.
In the case of applications under the Act for cabinet documents.
And it is the government's view that those safeguards extend to cabinet-related materials, even in the context that we are discussing. But again, I emphasize that the solution here would seem readily apparent. The Auditor General has access to cabinet-related material, but when it comes to the release of that material, there's a protocol in place, and that's what the government's interest is here. The representative, for reasons that I'm sure she'll enunciate if she hasn't already, has been reluctant to enter into that kind of a protocol.
Did you get a legal opinion that FIPA applies to the Representatives Act?
You've got a copy of the letter that the
yes.
former Deputy AG and Deputy to the Premier sent, so you have the benefit of seeing the government's argument.
But so you haven't actually solicited a legal opinion on this matter other than what the Deputy Minister to the Premier, former Deputy AG, has to say about it?
Let me repeat. You have a copy of the letter that the former Deputy Attorney General and now Deputy to the Premier has written, setting out the government's position with respect to this matter.
What if she walks away from the job because of this?
Well, I hope that's not the case. And as I say, the solution here seems readily apparent, and that is for this independent officer who does very, very important work for the relationship with government and access to cabinet documents to take place on a basis similar to other independent officers like the Auditor General. That's it seems to me the clear solution.
But do you think she feels insulted that she has a doctorate of law from Harvard and is a judge, and government's basically saying they anticipate she's going to release confidential cabinet information? I mean, isn't she the most qualified? Isn't she extremely well qualified to not violate the cabinet confidentiality? I mean, she seems to be well trained for that.
The government's obligation when it comes to concepts such as privacy and privilege don't take account of who necessarily one is dealing with. Those principles and those safeguards need to be in place, and as I say, are with respect to other independent officers and can be here if there is a willingness to do so.